All right. All right. Ugh. Ugh. That was too much. That hurt my stomach a little bit. I shouldn't have done that. That was a bad idea. I meant to mimic distress in physical pain, and I caused myself actual distress and physical pain. It was no longer an act. Art imitates life. Anyway, let's see how the tea is tonight. Hopefully it doesn't also contain physical pain. Pretty good. And it's not hurting me. It tastes good and it's not hurting me, which are the two main things I can ask for in a beverage. Which, now that I think about it, I drink a lot of beverages that don't have either of those qualities. I drink alcohol and that neither tastes good, it does not taste good, and it does cause physical harm to me. So I guess I was wrong. Those are uh not really that important, I guess, to my selection process when it comes to beverages, now that I think about it. When I really lay it all out. I guess maybe those things aren't that important. Bonuses, to be sure, but anyway. There we go. There we go. Oh, wait a minute. There we don't go, actually. I forgot a very important step. I forgot a critical step in the process. There we go. I nearly made a critical error. I have made a critical error. Almost. Anyway. Hello. Hi, hi. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing? I think that might be my voice training word. I think I might have to make it welcome. I think I might have to be welcome. I don't know. It's a very satisfying word to say, and it contains calm. What up, Pickle? What up, Stone? What up, Null? What up, Miko? Hello and goodbye, Pickle. I'm glad you could at least say hello. I'm glad you could at least say hello and good night. Many pleasant dreams. Also, thank you for the subscription, Miko. 26 months. That's a lot. That's many. That's many months. I very much appreciate that. Thank you. Reminds you of 56 Days of Static, The Big Afraid. I feel like I've definitely heard that name before. I don't know if I've ever listened to the music. The opening track was by Meitei. This is a Japanese guy. He definitely has more... uses some more darker sounds, some creepier sounds, and some more moody sounds across his work. Not that song in particular, but there's others that are a little bit. I don't know if I'd go so far as to call it dark ambient, but they definitely can get pretty moody. I don't know if it's his other. I don't know if it's his first album. There's another album called Kwaidan that is themed around ghost stories. That definitely has more of that kind of vibrational frequency. When the word contains calm, exactly. Do I like when people come in just to announce their departure? No, actually, I really don't like that, but I'm not gonna be rude. I actually really don't like that if you must insist on calling me out on it. But I would hate to be rude to somebody who's delaying their bedtime just to say hello to me. Also, what up, Faraday? And Phineas. Wow. The artist name is Mayte, and the album name is Kwaidan. There's a lot of other albums too that are good. That was from Komachi, I think. Yes, thank you for the head pats. You're gonna spoil me. I'm getting so many head pats lately. They're becoming a regular part of my diet. You're gonna spoil me. I'm gonna get fat. I'm gonna get a big fat head so that I can receive more at once. Also, I realize now this was in response to me saying what I look for in a beverage is that it tastes good and doesn't cause me physical harm. You said and a relationship. When I first read this, I thought you meant that I was looking for a relationship in the beverage as well. But now I've come to understand that what you meant was that you look for someone that tastes good and doesn't cause you physical harm in a relationship. It's not that you're looking to have a relationship or you're not looking to find a relationship in the beverage. But I must admit that when I first read that, that was my initial reading. That was my initial reading. You're just saying you personally don't like it, but you never voiced it to be played either. It's nice to know someone agrees to ball it up inside. I guess so. I don't know. If it's nice to hear that other people have the same problems that you do, I guess that's good. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's reassuring. But no, it's not my favorite thing in the world. Goes Pat Pat. Thank you. I don't know. I don't know if we can be doing open role playing in this stream. We might have to save that for the other streams. I feel like we probably shouldn't be doing that over there either. I feel like that's probably also a bad idea. I think that might have to be a strictly off stream thing. I don't know if it's necessarily a good idea to introduce that into the ecosystem. I think I'm probably gonna wind up regretting that decision very quickly if I let that slide. Yeah, it's an invasive species. It's too strong. It'll wipe out the local wildlife until there's nothing left. I have a relationship with the beverage. I am consuming it, much like the reverse of our relationship. Because you're consuming me? Is that what you're implying here? Or I guess not really implying, but outright stating. Again, I was gonna say, when you look for someone who tastes good in a relationship, I was about to say, maybe you do. Maybe that's very important to you. I guess it's probably important to me. As someone who's probably going to be tasting certain parts of the body frequently, that should probably be important to me as well. I am streaming on Twitch, right? I'm just making sure. Okay, yes, this is the Twitch stream. All right. I guess it does depend on the problem as well. I don't know what piles means, and it kind of sounds like I don't want to know what it means. I don't know if I've heard of that before. I'm not sure what that particular ailment is. It sounds like an ailment. I don't know. Oh, it's hemorrhoids. Okay. I've never heard it referred to as piles before. I didn't know that was a term for hemorrhoid. It could be kick. It's not kick. I do not condone gambling with real money. Fake gambling, go nuts. Fake gambling, go wild. Gambling with real money, probably bad idea. I do not condone that. And it doesn't seem like there's much reason to stream on Kick other than gambling. Or if you're racist. I guess if you're like really actually racist, then I guess that's probably okay over there. Or like bigoted in other ways. I think you're allowed to do that over there. I don't know. They should just add a bigotry category. That would be very funny. I would respect it if they did that. Like how Twitch adds all these not funny categories for like April Fools or whatever. They should just make that a category over on Twitch. I'm a bigotry streamer. I'm sponsored by Twitch. I mean, I'm sponsored by Kick. Fruit bat, fruity. Like chewing a Welch's fruit gummy. What type of fruit though? What's the specific type of fruit? This question has probably been answered before, but I always forget what the answer is. Much like I forget many things. Grape and oranges? Why oranges? I think it's specific. CBD? Does CBD taste like anything? Does that have a taste? Also, I would like to imagine that I would be like a CBD gummy, but I think I'm more like an anxiety gummy. What's a gummy that gives you anxiety? What's a compound that gives you anxiety? Benadryl? I'm like a delirium. I'm like a Benadryl gummy. I have DXM in me. Or DPH? What's in Benadryl? What's the active ingredient in Benadryl? Diphenhydramine. It's DPH. I'm sorry. I got my drugs mixed up. I got it on the second guess though. The number of betting shops. I don't think I'm really familiar with what a betting shop is either. I'm not really sure what that entails. Yeah, sports betting is becoming a huge problem in America. It's really bad over here. There's so many sports betting advertisements and things like that. And I mean, there's also a lot of like fast investment in like crypto apps, which are basically gambling. You can make them like gambling if you really want to. You can use them in a very similar way as gambling if you so desire. No, I'm not being daft or saft, if that's a different term. I'm not. I don't know exactly what you do at a betting shop. Do you buy just like lotto tickets and things like that? Can you bet on events there? Do they have like a bookie? I actually don't really know what you mean. It's not like a casino, is it? Is that like a different word for casino? I'm actually not entirely sure what you mean. Like if you explained it to me, I'm sure I would understand. I would probably be like, "Oh, okay, I know what that is." But just off rip, I don't know if I know exactly. If I was going to describe what you can do at a betting shop, I don't know what I would say. I mean, I would probably say something like you can bet on things there, but that's not exactly. That's not exactly that's more of a cheeky response than it is a serious one. It's dialectical for soft. Okay. A betting shop is a place where one makes sports bets. Okay. I mean, I'm sure we have those over here, but I don't really know of them or have seen one. I don't know. Do we have those over here? I don't know if I've ever seen one. They might be illegal. I don't know. I mean, now sport you can bet on sports now. Like they do it through websites and apps. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what the legality of it is. As someone who doesn't watch sports or gamble, I don't know exactly what makes it okay and what makes it not okay. I think it is illegal because I think with the sports betting apps, you have to do some weird like you buy fake currency that you use, and then you can like play the uh the game, and then like I don't know. I feel like there's weird workarounds. I played gotchas. I gambled. I've never spent money on a gotcha game. Fun fact. I have played them. I've never spent money on them. So I actually have not gambled. I mean, with real money. I've gambled with pretend fake money, but I've never gambled with real money. I know they vary by state. That's why I know they gamble by state. That's why it's confusing. That's what I'm trying to say here. I don't really know how it works or like why mass sports betting is okay. That's what I'm trying to say. How financially depraved is my area? Not this one's not, but I've been to financially depraved areas. Allow me to mansplain it to you. I don't mind being mansplained to. Do you see the submissive tag down at the bottom of the stream? I don't particularly mind being mansplained to. As long as I learn something. As long as I learn something, you can call me a dumb bitch or whatever. At the end. Or the start. Or in the middle. Or all three. Any combination you choose. It's true. I don't. Is this supposed? I was about to say, is this a skeptical face? It's true. I'm not lying. I'm not lying about that. What if I learn that the mansplainer is a moron? Well, that throws everything into question. I was gonna say contention and question at the same time, and I said question. Okay. Thank you for teaching me about U.S. gambling law. Anyone using the term mansplain generally falls under that category. Does anybody ever use mansplain to describe their own actions? Or are they I feel like it's pretty much applied as a label to other people's actions. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody. Well, I think it was in your case, Faraday. I imagine it was meant to be. It was a facetious comment. I don't know if you were being serious. I feel you were not being totally genuine when using that term. Maybe you were, but they do. Well, I can't say I've ever met anybody who does. I mean, I guess now maybe I have, but yeah, don't gamble. Also for moral reasons. I'll say don't gamble because it's a waste of money and also for moral reasons. Because you're probably funding some kind of crime by doing that. You're probably funding some kind of crime, some kind of bad crime by doing that. Or you're funding the government who also does bad crime. So they also do bad crimes. The most inbred mouth breather in your family tree sit down next to you at Thanksgiving and say, "Let me mansplain something for you kids." I see. What a way to start a sentence to some children. Maybe he meant man as in like adult, as in like I'm gonna adult explain something to you. Giving the benefit of the doubt. I'm not saying that's likely, but maybe that's what he meant. Although, considering he was previously described in the sentence as a fucking inbred mouth breather, I don't. It's unlikely. It's unlikely. Were you included in the kids? I thought maybe you just happened to be there. You were included in the group of kids? Okay. I was about to say, I thought maybe you were just also with the kids at the you happen to be over there. Yeah, Steve Buscemi and the fellow kids. Don't get mad at me for saying that nobody does that and then be like, oh wow, he did that? That's so weird. Shut up. Stop talking to me. I mean, the lottery is gambling. It's literally gambling. That is generally what people who are convinced they're smarter than they are do. They do condescend. That is one of their favorite activities. Anyway, what did we do last night? We played Tiny Bullets. That game was alright. That last area really kind of made me want to strangle somebody. Namely those responsible for making it. Specifically the people responsible for making it, but the rest of the game was alright. Who's convinced they're dumber than they are? I think me. I think I do that. I think that's me. How long was the rest of the area? I think the stream was like I think the stream was definitely over 4 hours long. We cleared 4 hours and I did not do anything else but played Tiny Bullets. So it was a lot. Maybe not a lot content wise, but it was a painful experience. It was very funny, but not necessarily enjoyable in the moment. It did really give me the feeling that I was having many jokes played on me at my expense as the player. I felt like a fool for choosing to play Tiny Bullets, but you know. I can't deny that it was pretty funny. A video which explains all the workarounds to betting restrictions in the US. Okay, so now I can start my own betting shop. Thank you. It's wrong to gamble, but it isn't wrong for somebody like me to trick others into gambling. Because if they're stupid enough to do it, then it means that I deserve to have their money and spend it more wisely than they ever could. Disclaimer, I don't actually believe that. Disclaimer, I don't actually believe that. I have to remember to say this because people will take me seriously. I do think I'm dumb and ugly. It's true. I am very thoughtful. I don't know if those thoughts produce much value. I do think a lot. I don't know if they're necessarily high quality thoughts, but I do have a lot of them. I'm not going to comment on the description of being gorgeous. Why do I know what this is? I feel like I've heard the term, oh, it's a German word for hummingbird, which is among the smallest of birds. Thank you, Wikipedia. I feel like I've seen the Colibri pistol or something. Is there a pistol named after this? Yeah, I've definitely seen I've heard of the Colibri pistol. The smallest commercially available centerfire cartridge. I see. I wonder what it would be like to be shot by the smallest caliber pistol round. I mean, I kind of wonder what it would be like to be shot by anything, but I'm not really particularly interested in finding that out. I could maybe handle this though. Yes, that's me too. Yeah, exactly. That's me too, the hottest and most humble person on the planet. Have you been shot by one, or do you just have trusted sources, Noel? Maybe I've heard of the game Colibri as well then. Wait a minute. Oh, they also use the term in Signalis. Okay, maybe that's where I've heard it before. They're one of the designations of the, whatever the androids are called. Okay, well, I guess I mean, I played that game, so I definitely did hear it there. Alright. Anyway, we're gonna finally be finishing that emote tonight, probably. That emote that I've been working on for 67 years, we're probably going to be finishing that tonight. Hopefully. There's very little left to do. And then we might continue doing art, but I did have a couple games I wanted to play last night that were shorter things. So if I finish this, I might end up doing that afterwards instead of more artwork, because I plan on starting the next longer playthrough tomorrow. So I don't know. We'll see how I feel. You might actually see it tonight. Let's see how quickly I can decide on what music I want to listen to. I almost got up to take a break, but now I can't do that. Now I certainly can't do that. I guess your schedule has been off kilter with the stream for a while now. No, I've yapped for a half hour. The opening song was like over 8 minutes. I've yapped for like a half hour, a little over half hour probably. You also need money? I need you to have money. As somebody who doesn't have a lot of money, I at least need the people who love me to have money. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I wasn't saying that. I was just kidding. I mean, I'm not really, but I mean, I'd have more money if people commissioned me. Yeah, if I advertised more, I'd have more money. I at least need the person who loves me to have money. That's probably good. That's probably helpful. Anyway. I don't plan on selling myself on OnlyFans, despite previous allegations of me being gorgeous. That's not in the pipeline. I've seen a lot of wildlife lately, not hummingbirds. Also, I just realized I always forget. I always forget about this. This is the track Artificial Brain by the band Artificial Brain off of their album Artificial Brain. I always forgot that they did that. It is very funny. Especially because this is like their 5th album. This isn't even like a self-titled like initial release. This is like their 5th album. I mean, I think this is their best album. I like it the most. I was never super convinced of their work before. I liked it well enough, but I guess we just really have to do the shading and the blush. I don't know, I feel like I kind of want to smooth it out. I don't know, I can't spend forever on this. Daggerfall, the city in Daggerfall, in the region of Daggerfall. Yeah, exactly. Oh shit. Does this count? I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of symphonic metal. Some of it's okay, but I prefer stuff like this. I prefer the noise. Melodic death metal. They gotta make sure to put the melodic in front because it's normally not melodic. Anyway, yeah, I guess we just have to do the shading on this. And a little bit of you know, that's what I was saying. This is regular death metal. Um Oh yeah, I was using my actual. Wait a minute. I switched it last time, right? Yeah, okay. I was using these colors. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of wildlife lately. It's been nice. The little lizards running around. It's been fun. I've seen them hunting. I've seen them snacking on little bugoids and things. It's been nice. I saw one. I don't know exactly what the bug was, but it was some big fucking fat thing that landed next to me, and it looked like it was injured because it couldn't. It didn't start flying again. It looked like it was hobbling, like it was moving weird. And I saw a lizard saw it, it noticed it, and it ran over to it real fast and chomped on it, and it made a very nice, satisfying crunch. It was a beautiful thing to see. Reptiles hunt bats. These are not big enough to hunt bats. These are tiny guys. Tiny little fellows. That's what they are. They're anoles. I've never been bitten by one, though. They seem a bit too skittish for that. What else did I see? Oh, that's what you meant. That's funny. I bet that's not very nice to the lizard. What else did I see? I've been seeing the alligators a lot lately. They've been hanging out. I definitely saw something else interesting, but I can't remember what it was now. Damn, this is gonna bother me. I saw praying mantis the other day. That was pretty cool. Just on the sidewalk. All right, see you later, Noel. Good luck. Good luck. Papudax? What up, Papudax? What's poppin', Dax? I might do, I don't know, I might do a little bit more elaborate shading on this one than I usually do on the emotes. I'm kind of feeling it. I guess I should also do the ear fill, right? I never do that on the emotes. But my ears have a different interior color that I should probably respect. I should probably respect my own design, right? Hold on, let me compare these side by side. Oh yeah, he's got a hat on. I don't know. I would probably. My guess would be just that whoever was the sprite artist for the portraits was not the same person who's doing the in-game sprite, who's doing like the character sprites. Something got miscommunicated or changed or whatever at some point, and they just didn't have the time to go back and fix it. Would be my guess. Especially when it's a game like that has like, you know, a publisher and things like that. It's like they gotta hit deadlines. And sometimes that means shit just does not get done. Sometimes that means things just do not get done. All dark elves are white? Oh, they're not even dark? Damn, that seems like a pretty major oversight, yeah. That one I'm not really sure how that happened. It's kind of in the name. I see. She's at least tan. She's at least not pale. But yeah, definitely not gray. Also, I don't really know what Noel was talking about. Death metal is not just the same chords for 5 minutes. They typically have a lot going on. They're not melodic. And they definitely do have... They definitely are very... There are a lot of noisy, chaotic elements to them, but... They usually got quite a lot going on. Not trying to talk shit behind anybody's back or anything, but... I don't exactly like arguing with Dulver much. They get very mad at me. I've learned to try to avoid arguments about things that don't matter as much as possible. Yeah, that just looks like a normal lady. That just looks like a normal human woman. That doesn't look like a, I also like how she's kind of giving the like, really? Facial expression? Even she's skeptical. Yeah, that's pretty different. That's pretty different. Yeah, I don't know. This is a much more there's a much more some much more majors going on with that one. I don't know what happened there. I guess I should probably be showing these on stream, but I don't really feel like it tonight. I'm sorry. Lazy and rude streamer Alchemilia Petrichor. Does not provide visual aids to the viewers. Talk shit as soon as they're out of earshot. Do I actually want to do this? This seems like a lot of work for very little payoff. I don't know. Doesn't provide visual aids, insults people who show up just to say hello. Talk shit behind everybody's back. Oh my god. Something about how you felt today. What does it say? They are in a pessimistic mood, but things might change. Better if our parents didn't seem to support our cynical and narrow-minded regime. Today's theme is desperate closeness. Don't dwell on it. Okay. What up, Minty? How's it going? I'll try not to dwell on it then. I'll try not to dwell on it then. I guess I probably should have done this first. I want to add some blush. Oh, that's a huge blend tool. Holy shit. There we go. That's nice. My blend tool's so fucking big, you have no idea. No, we've already been over this. I'm not the type of person who needs a big blend tool, you know? I much prefer for me and my tools to be described as tiny or small and other things. I didn't really think I was trying to not be too overt with that, but I used the word tool, which is definitely, I didn't really think about that before I started explicating on the idea. I didn't really mean for it to come out that way. I was trying to be at least a little more subtle than that, but oh, having a court mage seems like it would be pretty important. If everybody else has one, you'd think you'd at least want one, you know, just to be on parity. You can't hear subtext? Neither can I, really. If I'm being honest. I can't really hear subtext either. And it's not good. It causes me a lot of problems. Oh, whoops. Wait, that's right. It always defaults to glasses for some reason. I don't know why. Is the onion skinning on? Yeah. Okay. What happens if I do this? Okay, it doesn't make a difference. I didn't think it would, but... I'm just saying, like, you'd probably want, like... You know, it's like nuclear deterrence. If all the other nations around you have nuclear programs, you probably want to invest at least a little bit into that. If everybody else around you has official government magic, you probably want to maybe at least think about it. Yeah, see, exactly. That's all I'm saying. If I were in charge, I don't know. I feel like I always see that's something that always bothers me about fantasy settings that have magic. I always feel like it's way underutilized. I've gone on this diatribe before, but it's like, if magic is real, you know, you'd think it would be like the cornerstone of society. Like, if magic is a real thing that people can just do, you'd think it would be like a huge part of how the world operates. But so many fantasy settings just sort of like default to like magic being like, you know, oh, it's only for the chosen few. It's like this special thing that only certain people do. And that just feels boring to me. It just feels like wasted potential. I probably shouldn't get too fancy with this because it's going to be really hard to animate, I'm realizing. It's going to be really hard to make consistent. I probably should use the grid for this, just so I know where things are, like, located. Yeah, this is pretty accurate. And the worst part is, nobody's ever even going to notice because this is it's a super tiny emote. Apparently you can do emotes on Picardo, and they are much larger. You can have much higher sizes, but you got to pay for that. Instead of just you, the viewer, paying for the privilege of using the emotes, I have to pay for the privilege of uploading them, and then you also have to pay to use them. Again, just one of the pitfalls. Just one of the unfortunate things about not being owned by Amazon. You gotta pay. You know, I was gonna say, this is to go back to a topic that was spoken of quite a while ago now, I guess, at this point. I try not to really pay too much attention to my parents' political leanings. And I try to just kind of ignore it and not engage with it. But, you know, at the same time, it's kind of hard to do that because some of them are, they directly affect me in certain ways. So it's kind of hard to do that sometimes. I don't know, when you talk about the war, you got to talk about how awesome you are. So that's very important. You got to remember to, you got to remind everybody how good you are at it. That's very important. You got to make sure everybody knows you're really good at war. Because otherwise, people might try to start a war with you, and that would be bad for them. You wouldn't be worried because you're really good at it. Me, I'm great at war. I don't know. I guess we'll just see how this looks when all is said and done. And then we'll see how this looks when all is said and done, so I can revise it if I need to. And then I'll look at it and I'll be like, whatever, it's good enough, and then not revise it at all. That's my current plan. That's my current plan, at least. Ugh. Ugh. I gotta do this too. Oh man. It just kind of like, yeah, it just kind of connects like diagonally like this. That's probably the best way of doing it. That makes the most sense to me. That makes the most sense. I think I might have to get a snack during the break. I'm getting kind of hungry. I ate dinner rather early tonight. I was out and about. I was oot in a boot all day. And I ate kind of much earlier than I usually do, so I'm a bit peckish. I don't know, that's another word that I feel like should mean something else. Like, I know what it means, obviously, but when I think of the word peckish, I feel like it's not... It carries a different meaning to me. but I know it's peckish. Probably some kind of bird that you're about to post. And also, I guess, plenty of other birds that you're not about to post. Those are also peckish. Peckish is a good last name, too. I'm gonna have to write that one down as well. Peckish feels like a good last name for a character. I like that one. What was the one I got yesterday? Splotch. Splotch is also a good name. I don't know. It's getting harder and harder to separate the After Dark streams and these streams. It's definitely leaking. I'm definitely leaking a bit, which again, probably should have used a different word when describing that, but you know. Again, not how I intended for things to come out, but gross. What up, Seamus? Yeah, I apologize for that. Such devastation was not my intent. I'm sorry. I don't know, maybe we aren't going to play any games tonight. I'm not sure. We'll see how long this takes. It feels like it's... Dick big, ass fat, abs shredded, just got a haircut. Okay, well... See, I guess this is kind of what I was talking about. I'm doing alright. I'm doing well. It's been a nice day so far. Oh, shit. This is on the wrong layer. Wait, how did that happen? Weird. I don't know how that happened. This program is sometimes a mystery to me. Do you do the layer command wrong on purpose? I don't know if anybody ever does it correctly. And I can't tell if it's on purpose or not. It's just the command types out layer check, but the command itself is just called layer. This happens every time. And yeah, also it was never updated. And also it doesn't even really work anymore because it was never updated, but... Oh yeah, I guess I don't have to do as much as I thought because I can just copy the color over for some of these. I totally forgot that... Yeah, okay. There's less work to do than I thought. Thank goodness. Maybe I'm the wrong one. Usually, but not in this particular instance. Normally I would agree with you, but in this case... I think you will have to admit defeat. I'm the wrong one? What do you mean? That's not gonna work this time. I maintain that I'm correct in this instance. I'm not just gonna concede like I usually do. I am correct. Also, thank you again, Miko, for the subscription. I don't know if you heard me before. I don't know if you were still here at the beginning of the stream, but thank you for that. I appreciate it. Soon enough, there will be a new emote. By the end of the night, there will be... Well, actually, I don't know how long it takes for Twitch to approve these things, but... By the end of the night, the emote will be finished. I don't know if you'll be able to use it by the end of the night, but... Ooh, I am hungry. I've gotten a lot hungrier since I brought it up not even 5 minutes ago, I don't think. I don't know if I have any, like... I don't know if I have any quick, easy-to-eat leftovers. Like that cold pizza. That was a good-ass pizza, I gotta say. I like that one a lot. I don't know if I've seen that particular varietal though since then. Oh yeah, also Seamus, I regret to inform you, I have some horrible news. I have some very regrettable news. The One Piece YouTube channels with AI generated thumbnails that upload and talk about spoilers have officially hit my feed. I don't know what happened. I don't know what changed. I haven't really done anything different. I haven't really watched anything different from what I usually watch. Maybe they're just getting more powerful. I don't know. But I was mildly spoiled on this week's chapter before it came out in English. I made sure to click on them and say don't recommend. I made sure to try and get him out of there, but I don't know. I hope it doesn't happen again, but there's no way to know. I know it usually suppresses it for a while. It's never permanent, but I think it might actually be the first ever spoiler. I don't know if I've been spoiled on anything in One Piece before, because I generally don't like, I don't know, I don't like read or watch shit about it, so I don't know. It might actually legitimately be the first. If it has happened before, I can't remember it. This is a nice image. This is a nice image to go out on. Thank you, son. Rest well. I hope you enjoyed the stream up until now. This is a good one, though. This is a good one to leave us with. I appreciate it. I know it's an incredibly rare moment. I don't even really know how it happened. Again, I haven't like, I don't know, I haven't like done anything different than what I usually do, so I don't know why it started. I guess it wasn't really a major spoiler. I kind of I guess it was, I don't know, it was kind of annoying because seeing it out of context made me think that it was a bigger spoiler than it was. So it kind of made me like double upset, I guess. In a weird way. Yes, it was Zaza. It was like some super sensationalist title, like, this changes everything. New goddess Zaza or something introduced with like an AI generated image of something that doesn't look anything like what's actually in the chapter. Which I was like kind of upset because I thought it was going to be a bigger deal than it was, and then I actually read the chapter and it like wasn't that big of a deal, but at the same time it's like because it wasn't that big of a deal, like I kind of got upset because I was like, oh, like this was supposed to be like it was supposed to be like a moment, you know? But it kind of didn't really work for me because like that's all it was kind of just like the name of the character, and then that was it. So like kind of wasn't a big deal, but it also means that I kind of got the entirety of it spoiled for me just from the name and the thumbnail, or just from the name and like the description, you know? Like because it was so there was so little info, it's like I got all of the info even though it wasn't really that important, at least yet. It's like I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe, but it's like I was upset, and then I got more upset later for completely different reasons. I got hit by it twice, somehow. I got the second impact. We were watching a video that was AI dubbed and using AI animated manga panels. It was weird knowing that nothing you were experiencing was real. Were you watching this on purpose? I don't know. That sounds horrible. That does kind of like, I am kind of curious to see, like, was it, and like, was it doing, was it supposed to be like a spoiler? Like, was it spoilers? Like, was it supposed to be like generating the manga panels based on the description of the chapter, or was it like animating panels that already existed? Like, was it generating completely new panels, or like was it just animating stuff that had actually already been drawn? Because now I'm kind of thinking it might be funny to do like a retrospective of like, if these types of videos exist where they do fully AI generated panels, it might be kind of funny to like go back like after the chapters actually come out and like review the AI generated predictions of what things, of what would happen, or like what things would look like. I don't know, that would be an interesting kind of like historical study. I don't really know what to call it, but to go back after the fact and like see what the predictions were. Never forget the Gear death prediction. I don't think I knew that one. I'm guessing it has something to do with Gear 4. Because 4 is she in Japanese, which is also death, and that's like a big deal over there. There's a lot of mythology and superstition and stuff based around that. I don't know if I know what this is. I don't know. I can't forget it because I didn't know it in the first place, I guess. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand why people enjoy reading spoilers for shit like this. Like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, when I talk about spoilers for like One Piece or like manga in general, it's like the chapter will, this is for non-Japanese speakers, I suppose. The chapter will come out in Japanese, and then it will obviously take at least some amount of time for it to be translated. So people will get like the raws, people who do speak Japanese, and they'll read it, and they'll post like a description of what happens in the chapter. So that will, those will be the spoilers will come out a little bit before the chapter comes out in other languages. And people will read the spoilers before they actually read the chapter. And it's like, I feel like you're just depriving yourself of enjoyment. Like, I don't understand how that could possibly be satisfying to you. Like, if you're like, if you're so obsessed with getting the information as soon as it's available, then I could, like, maybe, but I can't possibly imagine that just reading like a text description of what happens in the chapter as like your first exposure to it is in, like, I can't imagine that's in any way satisfying. I mean, I guess for some people it must be, because otherwise why would they do it? Or maybe again maybe it's like drugs or like other addictions where it's like it's not actually satisfying, but they feel such a compulsion to do it that they have to do it anyway. I don't know. I've never understood the appeal of people doing this. But people do it. Like, and again, when I think about it, it's like one of the only justifications I can think of is like, one of the only justifications I can think of is like you don't. No, because that doesn't make any sense. I was about to say the only thing I can think of is like you don't want to get spoiled by seeing spoilers in the wild, but that's still, it's like the same thing. Like you want to know what happens immediately so you don't get spoiled, but it's like this, it's the same fucking thing. You're just reading a description. Seeing a spoiler would be somebody just typing out what happens and you reading it. So it's like the same fucking thing. It's not different, it's the same. So even that justification like kind of doesn't really make sense to me. Like you're trying to prevent something bad happening to you by making sure that something bad happens to you. By making sure that you're trying to prevent something that might, something bad that might happen to you by 100% guaranteeing that it does happen to you every time. Just like of your own volition, as opposed to accidentally. It's like, I don't know, it's like worrying about, like if you go for a walk at night, it's like worrying that somebody might like, you know, somebody will jump out from behind the street lamp and stab you. So instead of going for a walk, you sit in your apartment and you stab yourself in the stomach. Just be like, I don't want anybody else to stab me. I gotta make sure I stab myself first. Like, I don't know. It doesn't, I really just don't get it. And again, maybe it is possible that people do enjoy this, but it's like I cannot possibly imagine that reading the spoilers first is more enjoyable than just actually reading the chapter when it comes out. Like even if they do like it, I can't imagine they like that it's better, like that they enjoy it more, you know, or they would enjoy it more. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. Yeah, I guess it's maybe, I don't know. Now that I'm trying to, I'm really trying to figure this out. I'm sorry. I'm like really investing a lot of brain power into this, but it's something that's fascinated and confounded me for a long time. I remember reading an academic study about how people enjoy spoilers for a movie. I don't think it was necessarily that they enjoy spoilers. I think the study was specifically that people, it's not that they enjoy the spoilers, it's that getting spoiled doesn't decrease engaging with the whatever it is afterwards. I don't think it was necessarily, I could be wrong about this, but I think it was less that they enjoy the spoilers and more just if they are spoiled on the plot of a movie, then they don't like when they're talking about it, it doesn't like cause, or like when they're actually watching it, it doesn't cause like a, there's like no statistical or like significant decrease in enjoyment for people who were spoiled versus people who were not spoiled, you know? Which again, I think it really heavily depends on the person, and I think it, I don't know, it seems like a weird study to me because I think it really heavily depends on the movie or like the story, you know? Because when I think about it, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of movies that I could get spoiled on and probably still enjoy the movie as much, you know? Like John Wick. If I got spoiled on what happened in a John Wick movie, it's like, that's not really the point. You know, it would probably still be just as enjoyable, even if I knew everything that happened before I saw it. But there's a lot of other movies where it's like the plot, not like you not knowing the plot going into it is pretty fucking important to how it's structured and how it works. Like, that's one of those I kind of discount that study a little bit because I'm like, it's probably very specific to the story in question. I don't think you can just apply that generally to like all stories. Because everybody always talks about this, but they never say what movie it is or what movies. They never say what movie it is or like what it was that they were watching. I mean, maybe they say it in the actual study, but I always just see people talking about the study and they never say, "Oh yeah, it was Cars," or like, you know, it was fucking Transformers 3 or something. Like, what movie was it? Maybe it's a movie that it doesn't matter if it's spoiled. And maybe it's a movie that only stupid people like anyway. So it doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter what their enjoyment of film is because they're dumb and they don't like good movies. This is very important. Maybe it's a movie that only stupid people with bad taste would enjoy, so it doesn't matter how much... It doesn't matter what their opinions are, you know? This is very important. This is a very important part of the study that nobody seems to ever talk about. It enhanced their enjoyment. Okay. I don't know. This is always... People always trot this one out, but I'm very dubious of it. I don't know. Because I definitely don't like being spoiled. So... They don't enjoy the story, they just enjoy having more ammo to argue about it online. That was going to be the thing I was going to bring up. I was going to say, online discussion, heavy online discussion of, like, ongoing series or, like, even just media in general is something that I don't really... I guess, like, just, like ongoing, like, immediate, like, discussion is something I don't engage with very much. So... I guess if you value that more than actually engaging with the work on your own terms, then you're the type of person who reads spoilers. But again, in that case, you're probably a low IQ individual, and I don't really respect your opinion. I don't really care what you think in that case. So, I don't know. As someone who doesn't really personally engage in online discussion that much, I mean, I guess I'm engaging in online discussion right now, but you know what I mean. Outside of the stream, I guess, is what I should say. I should clarify. Outside of the stream where I'm the one in control with the hot microphone, and I can ban anybody who pisses me off or disagrees with me. Here, in my domain, where I am in charge... I like those online discussions, but otherwise. So yeah, I guess that is the only reason, like the only reason I could see why people would do that. But if that's why people are doing it, then I don't care to give any time to those people, I suppose. I don't care to give my attention or my respect to such individuals, so I will not be doing that. Yeah, but I'm still voicing my opinions online. I'm still voicing my opinion. It's not really a discussion most of the time, as it is me just talking. Anyway, I gotta get up and take a break. We might not finish this emote tonight. After that, after all that, that was a lot. I guess I'm just in a yappy mood. I guess I'm just in a yappy mood tonight. I feel more like talking than I do drawing. No, that wasn't a can drop. That was my metal water bottle hitting the metal part of the top that's right next to it. That wasn't a can, that was my water bottle. Anyway, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna take a break. I'm going to... yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Hold on, I'm in the process. I'm in the process of making a drink. There we go. I forgot to assemble the ingredients beforehand. so it took a little longer than I wanted it to. I'm innovating in stream technology. That could be a fun IRL stream. That could be a fun hand cam stream, a flesh stream, bartending. Not bartending, but you know, mixology, learning how to make drinks. That could be fun. I'm not sure how long it would last. I think it would probably have to be a segment of a larger stream. I don't think... I'm not sure how many cocktails I could make before... I guess if I had somebody to serve them to, if I had people to serve them to, that would be nice. That would make more sense. I guess it would have to be bartending. Because if I'm making them for myself and then drinking them, I don't think that would really... I don't think we could maintain that for very long. Serve them to you? You would love to drink my vodka and cola? I don't think vodka and cola is even a drink. I mean, I think the point would be... The point would be to make, like, more substantial drinks than just that, but... Apparently people do drink this. Apparently people do drink this, but it doesn't look like it has a name. They just call it a vodka and cola, a vodka and coke. I don't think it does it have a name? No, it doesn't. Okay, this isn't real. This is fake. Another a mixed drink for low IQ individuals. I've been saying that a lot lately. I don't know why. It's very funny to me. This is a drink for low net worth individuals. That's gin and cola? I don't think gin and cola is a real thing either. I think you're thinking gin and tonic is a real thing. I think you're thinking of rum and coke, rum and cola, Cuba Libre. Tonic's not really cola. Tonic's like unflavored. It's just like seltzer water, basically. I was about to say, this might be a, whatchamacallit. This might just be like a translation thing, or like a language barrier thing. I also got a powdered donut. I got an Entenmann's powdered donut, which will be my dinner for right now. Till I can eat something more substantial later. I did not have access to leftovers, so this is all we got for now. I do love me some Entenmann's donuts, though. Way too much, honestly. The soft donuts, they come in the box. I don't know. They're up there. They're up there as far as treats go for me. I do love them. I do love them. Your favorite drink ever was sex on the ship. Play on sex on the beach. You got it on a cruise. You can type sex in the chat if you want to. That's allowed. You can say sex on the internet. It's okay. Yeah, there you go. See, it feels good, right? It feels liberating. I don't think I know what a sex on the beach actually is. I mean, I've heard of it, obviously. Obviously, as a borderline alcoholic. But I don't know if I know what's actually in it. Yeah, you're old enough to drink. You can say sex on the internet. You can have sex on the internet, presumably. You can take it a step further. That's probably several steps further, actually. That's probably more than just one step further, I would say. The donut makes an interesting pairing with the Smartini. There you go. I don't know. Sex on the beach sounds a little fruity. It sounds a little too girly for me. Vodka, peach schnapps, orange juice, and cranberry juice. Ah, okay. I don't know. Despite really liking fruity, sweet things, despite really liking fruity, sweet things, when it comes to cocktails, I actually don't like them that much. Most of the cocktails I like are usually just like alcohol, mostly alcohol in them. I want my alcohol to taste like alcohol. I want my alcohol to taste like alcohol. I want my boys to look like girls, and I want my girls to look like boys. That's not true. It is a funny joke, but it's not true. Not to say that I don't like those things, but I'm not so exclusionary. I'm not going to take a hardline stance on that. Oh, interesting. The quinceañera is also big over there in Denmark. Is that correct? Am I remembering that correctly? There we go. I got it. Now, can I get rid of this without dumping powdered sugar everywhere? I think I've succeeded. Okay, there we go. You know, I briefly considered just not going back to the art and just going to a game or something, but we gotta finish this, man. We gotta finish this shit, bro. Otherwise, what are we even doing here? Otherwise, what's even going on here? All right. Enjoy your lurk, Miko. as you slink into the shadows, back into the darkness. Now, what do I want to listen to? I think I got the, I think I was satisfied with the earlier Artificial Brain. I don't know if I want anything quite that intense right now. I'm looking for something a little bit more pretty, maybe. A little less abrasive, you might say. But I don't know what that is. I don't know what that would be. I don't know what that means. I mean, I do know what it means. I don't know what it means for me in this present moment, I suppose. This seems good. I don't know, I really am quite a strange individual, aren't I? I've been thinking about that. I really am quite a strange individual, aren't I? You wouldn't think it possible for somebody so humble and yet also so sexy to exist at the same time, and yet, here I am. I think I said that in the wrong order. I think it would have been funnier if I said so sexy and then so humble afterwards. I think that probably would have been... That's probably a better... Or that's a better punchline, I think. I kind of screwed that one up. I think the joke works better in the different order. I am in a surprisingly good mood tonight, though. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling mirthful. I'm feeling joyous, I suppose. After being so not joyous for so very long, I feel quite joyous. Maybe not joyous. Joy might be the incorrect terminology. I suppose I mean more like content. I'm feeling quite content and peaceful lately. And by lately, I mean the past few days. If we extend it beyond just the past few days, then I don't know about that one. I don't know if I can in good conscience say that, but for the past few days at least. I have been feeling quite contented. I do feel like things are kind of falling into place. I don't know why I feel that way, but I do feel that way. I hope I am accurate in that summation. I hope there's a good reason that I feel that way, because if not, I'll be very upset. Or maybe I won't. I don't know. I gotta feel. I need to. I gotta roll with the punches better. You know. I gotta roll with the punches. Maybe I'm finally capable of doing that after so long. Maybe I finally gained that ability. That would be nice, right? Do I know what needs to happen now? I don't, and I'm worried about what it might be. I'm worried about what you think might need. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Those were very well timed. All right, I guess my doomer tendencies haven't completely left me because I assumed that was going to be something bad. I assumed you were gonna say something to throw me off balance, or you were gonna say something to balance out my positivity with negativity, but instead you decided to strike when I was most vulnerable. It was a possibility. I thank you for showing mercy. I thank you for showing mercy in that regard. I very much appreciate that. I don't know. I've been asked about this before, and I've had to try to explain it, but I don't know if I actually can explain it. I do kind of enjoy the bullying and the degradation and the that kind of teasing and that kind of thing. I do think it's kind of fun, but I can't always handle it. I need both, unfortunately. Sometimes I'm better at handling it than others, you know? I don't really know why. Oh, really? Yes, really. Shockingly. You may have heard. If you've been paying attention, you may have heard. I don't know. I don't know if this is like a common term. I don't know if this is like a common term, but I feel like it's a very good one that's been used in my family like my whole life. I've always been described as a low maintenance individual, whereas my sister has been described as a very high maintenance individual. That's where it comes from, is the contrast. between the two of us. I'm very low maintenance, she's very high maintenance. You leave me to my own devices, I'll be okay. I don't need a lot of, like, attention or, you know, whatever. Whereas she does. But as I've gotten older and come into my own more, I think, like, I think I might actually be kind of a high maintenance individual. I think the closer you get to me, the more maintenance I require from you, if that makes any sense. I don't necessarily need it. I'll be okay without it, but I think if you actually want to get really close to me, you'll discover that I kind of do want that from people. I just don't, like, seek it out. It sounds like I'm an introvert. I mean, I definitely am, for sure, but not as much as I maybe thought. Same, also the same about your sister, clone. I don't know. This is a little. I've kind of noticed this. Maybe it's just the fact that I am so, like, maybe it's just the fact that I am so, like, embarrassingly I'm so open about myself on stream to the point that it's maybe too much and it's maybe a little embarrassing at times. The people who end up becoming, like, the people who are like long time fans of the stream are like very close to me in terms of, like, I don't know, like things like that you wouldn't think about. I guess not. I mean, close as in, like, similarities. There's like weird similarities like that. There's a lot of things that line up that you wouldn't really think about. They seem to reveal themselves over time. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I can. Wait. This is a redo. This is a redux. I got too lost in the sauce for a second. I got too sauced up. People closer right on for all that stuff that I don't want from others. Okay. I see. I guess maybe I'm just more like. This would probably fucking help, right? I'm so dumb. Um. I guess, like, I kind of just, like, I don't know. I didn't really think about it too much because I avoided people. I didn't have people who were close to me that I could rely on, I guess, in that way. I guess I had more, I had a lot of unfulfilled needs and desires that I wasn't even aware of. Because I didn't know anybody who was really perhaps willing or capable of engaging with that side of me, with those facets of my personhood. Speaking of talking about things very openly that I probably shouldn't be. That feels like maybe a bit too much. That feels like maybe not uh necessarily something I should be talking about too much. I don't know. I can't really like I don't really know how do I say it? I like the idea of the stream as like I like the idea of the stream as like I use it a lot for personal development, or I feel like it's helped me a lot with that kind of thing. Just being able to interact with people and get on the microphone and talk about stuff like this. So I hope that other people are able to use it for similar purposes, you know? I hope that me talking about shit like this, like, maybe can help people sort of do the same or get more comfortable with it. Or maybe, you know, I can voice certain things that maybe they've been thinking or get them to reflect on their own whatever's going on by just doing that for myself. Perhaps a lofty goal. Perhaps a lofty goal for my gay VTuber video game stream, but you know, I think it's worth striving for something that's potentially out of your reach. In kind of my shonen anime protagonist mentality. I think part of what makes life interesting, part of what keeps people going, part of what keeps life engaging and interesting, and part of what makes you continually develop as a person is you gotta always be aiming for something. You have to always be striving towards something, you know? There always has to be something that's maybe just a little bit beyond your reach at the present moment. So, you know, you don't want to be deluding yourself or anything, but I think it's maybe important to have a very lofty goal that you aspire to. I think maybe dreaming a dream that is guaranteed to happen or that's easy to achieve isn't really dreaming at all, you know? Like, be able to eat well each day. I mean, I guess I mean more like, I'm talking about like loftier ambitions, I suppose. What is it? I forget the dude's name, but like the order of needs, you know? I mean, like once your basic needs are fulfilled, I mean beyond that. I hope everybody could have I hope everybody gets the chance to dream beyond just like having their basic needs fulfilled. Yeah, no, see, I mean like food and shelter and water and things like that. Like I hope that, that's not like a distant dream that's out of reach. I mean, I'm talking maybe loftier things like that. See, that's what I mean when I was saying, this is shonen anime protagonist shit. I mean, like, if I'm like the main character in like a sword and sorcery novel, you know? Because for a lot of people, I'm sure that just being able to not die is like, feels like it might be just out of reach. I mean, that felt like it was just out of reach for me for a long time, but not because I couldn't eat, more just because of like severe uh mental darkness. More because of like super intense depression and things like that. But, Also, you changed your little badge. What is this one? Oh, Crimson Desert. What the fuck is Crimson Desert? Is that a real game? Crimson Desert, when I look at it, it looks like a fake video game to me. If I'm being perfectly honest. Like, what's the opposite of a platonic ideal? What's the opposite of the word ideal? I'm not really sure, but it's like when I imagine like the most generic like of the times like goop, it feels like gray slurry to me when I look at it. It looks like the most like a by the numbers like this is a video game with a capital V and a copyright symbol at the end. I'm trying hard not to say slop because that's not what I mean. It's not really what I'm trying to get at here. Also, I'm basing this purely on like just seeing the game, like very little of it. This is like extremely cursory impressions. I have no actual strong opinions on this game. I know basically nothing about it. I'm just going on. This is like I don't know. This is like very cursory vibes, you know? Like when somebody like fires a bullet, when you're in war and you're like charging towards the enemy and so they're shooting at you and like a bullet like dings off the side of your helmet and like barely even leaves a scratch. That's kind of like the impact that my opinions are having right now. I'm just kind of like firing blindly and they're kind of just like I'm making the barest contact I possibly can with anything of substance and then flying off into the distance. I mean, absolutely no. I mean, really no hate or like anything super negative. It's just sort of like I've heard the name, I've seen the game, and I'm like, I could not be less interested just based on what I've seen. It is made okay. It definitely seems like it. An Aristotelian supposition. I don't know if I know what that means. Fuck, I have to like, I'm literally looking at the word and it's very hard. I spelled it wrong. I was literally looking at the word Aristotelian and I still spelled it wrong. I was literally looking at it. All I had to do was like copy it and I couldn't fucking do that. Well, you did also spell Aristotelian wrong. So supposition theory is a medieval logical theory that developed the Aristotelian concept of standing for to explain. Okay, so hold on. You might be a little confused. This is something that came in the medieval times based on the Aristotelian concept of some other shit. I think maybe you might be. I don't know. I don't think this is what I'm talking about. Hold on, let's find out. Was Aristotle or Plato first? Nope. Aristotle, education, Platonic Academy. Plato was first. Yeah. The Academy was founded by Plato around 387 BC, and Aristotle was born around 384 BC. So Plato came first. I think Plato is the guy that I respect, and I think Aristotle is the guy that I'm a little iffy on. I like Plato. I'm not so sure how I feel about Aristotle. I don't know. I was doing a little bit of research. I think Aristotle was the guy who's like, slavery is actually good. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not so sure I vibe with this one. I'm not so sure I vibe with this idea. He was like, actually, some people should be inherently subservient to others. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's just my inner American coming out, but I was like, I'm not so sure I vibe with that idea, my guy. I think it was him. I feel like I learned that recently. That was part of his philosophy, and I was like, ah. That's surprising that Aristotle said that. I know. I gotta study philosophy more. I am very interested in it. I've done a little, but not a lot of reading into philosophy. I think the problem with my like interest in philosophy is I'm interested in like the really fucking difficult stuff. I'm interested in like the most difficult stuff. And I definitely need a knowledge base before I can actually start tackling that kind of thing, which I certainly do not have. I should hit philosophy tube. I do. I do actually get philosophy videos recommended to me on YouTube quite often. And I do watch them, but not like I don't have like I'm not like diligently studying, you know, like I don't have a workbook or like a course laid out for me, which I feel like is kind of what I need to tackle it in a more regimented manner if I'm really going to learn anything. You're saying supposition because it's not the ideal. You don't think you could have the opposite of ideal? I mean, I feel like you probably could. I just don't know what the word for it would be. Like, if the ideal is, like, you know, the perfect form of something, if the ideal is, like, the absolutely most, not necessarily perfect, I guess perfect, but, like, iconic form that something could take, then there could be, like, well, I guess no, because then that would be an ideal in and of itself. Like the opposite of something ideal would be the ideal version of its opposite, you know? So I guess maybe you're right. I guess you can't really have the opposite of an ideal because that is sort of an ideal in its own right. Like, you know, if you have like the ideal of goodness or like the ideal of sweetness, then like the exact opposite would be like the ideal of evil or like the ideal of sourness or something, you know? Like the opposite of, you know, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference or something like that. It would just be an ideal in and of itself of a different concept. Didn't they break up? No. Who are you? I don't even know who you're talking about. You retreat into lurk mode and you come back to find debates on classical philosophy. It's not really a debate. I think we're just kind of talking about it. It's not, I wouldn't really say it's debate. I don't even know how this started. I don't even know how this started. I forget exactly what my original point was. Probably something along the lines of how I want people to give me lots of head pats and smoochies all the time. But I would never dare ask for that kind of thing. I think that's kind of just like the running theme on the stream lately. No, I meant before that. I was talking about something before that, but I don't remember what it is. It's probably not important. I was talking about my goals for the stream. I was talking about the platonic ideal of what the stream would be, I guess. I was talking about what the platonic ideal of the stream is, I guess. Are you okay over there, Minty? What's going on? I know you do this quite often, but is it something I should be concerned about? I'm not sure. It does make me quite concerned, but I don't know if that's warranted or not. Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't think it's not a very video game focused discussion right now. Yeah, I don't know. I get really mad about the fact that the ideal world doesn't exist. I get really upset about that sometimes. Oh, okay. I see. I don't know. That's probably one of my like It's hard for me to define what the stream exactly is. I don't know if I really have a good answer ever. I would like for it to be like a nice comfy place for people to hang out, but it's definitely not that. It definitely is not that. It is that sometimes, but it's certainly not that with enough frequency that I can say it's a defining feature. It is occasionally that. But not often enough that I feel like I can say it's an entirely good description. What is this one now? Mr. Raccoon. A sub to Resident Evil okay. Interesting. Who's Mr. Raccoon? I haven't played Requiem. Oh, for Raccoon City? Did they get like a Japanese style mascot despite being an American city? Did they get a Japanese style American mascot despite it being an American city? I'm not familiar. But thank you for the head pat again. I appreciate that. It's the mascot for Raccoon City Zoo. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know. Resident Evil 9 is a game that I will play at some point in my life, but I'm not in any rush to do so. I was not crazy about 7 or 8. I was not crazy about 7 or 8. But 9 does look better. 9 does look better. I think, I don't know what happens. I have no idea what happens in the story. Please do not spoil it for me. But I think Leon S. Kennedy is reaching Solid Snake levels where it's like, can the guy just fucking catch a break? Can we just let him rest? Can we let Leon just fucking sit down for a minute and just like have a smoke or something? I'm not sure how this new game treats him, but I feel like if he's not on old Snake tier, he's definitely fucking really close. Where it's like, can we just relax? Leon had a hard life. It's a story about hope. Damn. Oh my god, why? What's the oh my god, why for? The ice cream's not working. It was supposed to patch the holes. Don't worry, Minty. It'll be okay. You'll be alright. I don't know, I feel a bit like... I feel a bit like... I actually don't even know what I was just about to say. But yeah, I feel a bit bad about this, but... One of my go-to mottos, like, it has gotten me through a lot of shit, is just remember, this too shall pass. No matter what it is, just remember. This too shall pass. That's my number one piece of advice. In just about any situation. It's been very helpful to me over the years. Especially when I'm feeling super negative, I just gotta remind myself. It's not gonna last forever. You're gonna be okay. And the worst thing that you could possibly do in those types of situations is try to make it better. Which is a bit of a paradoxical statement, but it's a very Taoist kind of like, you know, all is proceeding as it must, and there's no other possibility. Like, you just have to accept sometimes that you're not feeling okay, but eventually you will be, and you just gotta ride it out. And the worst possible thing that you could do is try to, like, fight against it. You can't reject those feelings, you have to accept them. And once you allow them to exist, they suddenly don't hurt as much. They suddenly start to feel like they're not really that important after all. You can't give them that kind of... You can't give them any power. They don't deserve it. There's points that are like that. Does Leanne have to go through the microwave corridor? Do I plombus? It'll be okay? I mean, I can't plombus anything, but I can at least speak from... I can speak to my experience. I'm an OK Go fan. I definitely know of a song that they've made, but I can't say I'm a big fan. No spoilers. Did they do a redux of the fucking laser thing from Resident Evil 4? That's kind of what I was just thinking about. But I was like, it would be so fucking funny if they did that. No spoilers? I don't know if I could resist. If I was making Resident Evil 9 and Leon came and the owner of Capcom was like, yo, you gotta put Leon in this one. We gotta sell some fucking copies of this video game. This costs $500 million to make. You gotta put Leon in there. We gotta sell some fucking copies. I'd be like, I think I know what to do. No, I was talking about like the ancient Arabic like saying, the ancient Arabic like aphorism, not like the band. Persian origin. Reflecting on the impermanence of the human condition, signifying that neither negative suffering nor positive joyous moments last forever. It's true. The phrase stems from Persian Sufi poets, often attributed to 12th century poet Attar of Nishapur, in these Bogzarad, or something like that. No, I think Memento Mori is kind of like a little bit more pessimistic. I feel like Memento Mori is meant to be a little bit more humbling. Not pessimistic, but humbling. I think you're supposed to be humbled by the phrase Memento Mori. I think this too shall pass is supposed to be more comforting. I guess it is humbling in a way. It is humbling in a way, but they had 3D videos on the Nintendo 3DS. I don't think I ever saw those. You think Stone would be a bit resistant to that philosophy? I mean, probably. I don't know. I'm just saying. I need to reiterate this every once in a while. I'm just speaking from experience. What works for me will not necessarily work for you. I'm just speaking to my own experience. Recliterate. Alright. It does feel pretty good though, doesn't it? To just be fucking dumbass online. To just be a fucking silly little goober. It does feel pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I guess I should also specify that when I'm saying things like this, I'm talking very specifically about like depression. Like depression with like a capital D. I think is like more what I'm speaking to. And I don't mean to say that you shouldn't try to improve your life or recognize what the underlying problems are or like, you know, strive for something. I just mean like when you're in when you're in it, when you're fucking in it, when you're in the hole, when shit's deep and bad and dark, really don't think that fighting against it is necessarily the correct option. I think beating yourself up over feeling that way is not productive. You are not in a productive area. You are not in a productive zone. You're not operating at a productive frequency. And I think trying to make it into that is a mistake. I think it will only make things worse. I think you just gotta ride it out. I think like I don't know. I guess maybe not everybody's gonna jive with this. You might not know what I'm talking about, but speaking of drugs, as somebody who does drugs and enjoys them, sometimes you're just gonna have a bad trip. Sometimes you're gonna do something and it's gonna make you not feel good, and you just gotta remind yourself this is not forever. At a certain point in the future, this is going to be over and done with, and I'm going to be a different person. And you just got to ride it out. And it's really, really difficult to do that. It's very difficult to get into that mindset. I will admit, it is not an easy thing to do. Giving up that impulse and that urge is not, it's very difficult. It's not something that comes naturally, but if you can learn to recognize that and act appropriately, I mean, it's helped me a lot. It really is the best method for me. And it does kind of make me feel bad because it's like I have people in my life that want to talk to me about this kind of stuff. And it's like when I'm in a fucking really bad mood or I'm having a depressive episode, it's like they want to talk to me and like help bring me out of it. But I kind of sometimes just have to be like, I really just need to be alone right now. Like I don't think I can, if I try to talk to you, if you try to help, like it's not going to work. I just need to sit it out for a little while. We can talk about it when it's over. We can sort of like work through things when I'm feeling better. But right now, I think I just need to be alone and I need to just kind of sit with these feelings and let them pass. Which again is an incredibly difficult thing for me to do. I really don't want to like reject people's good intentions, you know, or like I don't know. I kind of have to say to them like I don't think you can really help me right now, which is not a very nice thing to say, but I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean it in like a purely practical sense. I literally just mean like I think that I need to just sit here for a bit and I'll be fine. I'll be okay. Trust me. And that probably doesn't work for everybody. That probably is not something that is applicable to everybody, but I've learned over the years that that kind of works for me. And I think it is the best approach. So I feel like I need to say that. I need to say that because it's not something that I think a lot of people consider as like an option. I do it so you don't have to, is essentially what I'm trying to say with that. It might not work for you. I cannot guarantee results, but if you're at your wit's end, if you don't know what else to try, might as well give it a shot. I don't know. I don't think I want to listen to this right now. I thought maybe I did. I don't think I do. I don't think I do. Oh, because it rhymes with. It also rhymes with. Shut up. Hold on. I'm trying to fucking make. Hold on. I'm trying to make a fucking point here. Shut up. Silent. Anyway, what up, Yak? How's it going? I hope you are well too. Sorry, I got a little. I went off on a little bit of a. I had to just kind of ignore the chat for a second while I was speaking truth to power. But I hope you are well as I hope you are well as well. You got a kitten. That's adorable. I'm so happy. That's wonderful. I would love to get a cat. I'm not in a situation. I'm not in a living situation where I get to have a cat, but I would certainly love to have. That's like my number. That's like my number one goal. That might be just out of reach. Is I want to own a cat. I do want a brand new kitten. Exactly. That might actually be slightly out of reach for me. I don't know. Have we played Phantom Brave? I've played Phantom Brave, not on the channel. We do have to do that one day, though. I think I own it on Steam. I'm gonna check right now. I think I own... Did I ever buy Phantom Brave on Steam? I think I did. Phantom Brave got a sequel! Like fucking 15 years after it came out. That's like the most... That's the most mind-blowing thing to me. There's the Phantom Brave 2. I can't believe that that happened. I do own it. Okay. I do own Phantom Brave on Steam. We do have to play that at some point. We gotta play through Disgaea at some point too. Disgaea is maybe my favorite series of games that I barely talk about because it's one of the... It's like sacred to me. I did kind of talk about it on a recent stream, I feel like, but it's like... Disgaea has had such a huge impact on me as a person that it's almost like I don't want to profane it by bringing it into the stream too much. It feels like a dumb thing to care about as much as I care about it, but I do care about it a lot. Yeah, I don't know. That's like... That's one of my dreams right there. I want like a random kitten to show up one day and I adopt it. And I'm like, you're mine now. You belong to me now, bitch. I hope you're ready to be the most important thing in somebody's life. Because it just fucking happened to you. You little fucker. Took it to the vet. They're saying someone might have dropped it off because of the condition it was in. What do you mean by that? Someone might have dropped it off where? Or like, you mean dropped it off like at your house? Because you mean it like in good condition, so it's like it wasn't like a stray. It was like somebody just couldn't take care of it anymore. Is that what you mean? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cleanse yourself and tune yourself. I don't know. We're breathing some rarefied air right now. I feel like. Yeah, strays are usually like they got something going on. Strays usually got worms or something else. I don't know. Again, this is kind of like... I really like listening to music like this when I'm depressed or I'm like into having an episode because it's like... It lets the feelings go away, you know? It kind of like exercises the demons, at least for me. Like the really chaotic, like noisy, like wall of sound kind of music is just like that's what my brain feels like in those moments. So listening to that kind of stuff sort of helps externalize internal thoughts or internal feelings. My thoughts they turn into just fucking noise. That doesn't mean anything. So it helps to listen to noise. That does mean something, you know? It helps make it go away. I guess that's another piece of advice that I would give that I feel like maybe people don't think about too much. The music you listen to, like, I guess the just media that you engage with in general, but especially the music that you listen to has a very, very noticeable effect on your mood. It has a very, very noticeable effect on your thinking and the way that you feel. You have to be very, very conscious of what it is that you're putting into your body, I guess, or putting into your mind in those moments, because it has an incredibly strong effect on you. So you have to be very aware of that. You can't just be like an idle, you cannot be just like an idle participant or like an idle observer in those moments. You are a participant, you are participating. You are doing something. Something is happening to you. And you need to be aware of what that is. You know, you need to be aware, you need to be very conscious of what it is that you're consuming, in the sense that you're, you know, consuming food. You're putting nutrients into your body. Or poisons, you know, or negative things. You're putting microplastics into your soul. You have to be very conscious of that in the moment. You have to be very aware of what it is that you're doing and how it's affecting you. Because it has a very real, very tangible effect, whether or not you're aware of it. I guess what I mean is, like, if you're not thinking of, like, if you're not operating on that level, if you're not thinking about that, then you need to be. Because it is happening to you, whether you realize it or not. It is something that's happening to you, whether or not you're aware of it. So you better become aware of it. You better start to think very seriously about the stuff that you're putting into your body, the stuff that you're putting into your soul. This explains so much. You should have listened to Joji today. It really do be like that. It really do be like that sometimes. I don't know. Sometimes I'm in a depressing mood where I want to listen to depressing music, and sometimes I'm in a depressing mood where I want to listen to happy music. Sometimes I'm in a happy mood where I want to listen to depressing music. You know, you gotta really, you gotta feel it out. You gotta really be aware of what's happening to you and how it's affecting you. Every time that you engage with a piece of art, you're engaging with it for the first time. Every time you listen to a piece of music, you're listening to it for the first time. Every time you watch a movie, you're watching it for the first time. Every time you play a game, you're playing it for the first time. Because you're not the same person that you were the last time that you did that. The me that's listening to this song right now is not the same me that listened to it last time. It's a new experience every single time, and you have to understand that. It's very important that you understand that. It is not the same experience as it was previously. This is my Alki Chewy ideal? Maybe, I don't know. I think I might be. I gotta calm down. I'm going a little too hard. I'm going a little too hard right now. I'm sorry. I'm feeling myself a little too hard right now. I apologize. No, I think I do. I think I do have to stop for practical reasons. I do have to get up and piss. I've been I've been delaying it, but I gotta get up and use the little bathroom. I gotta. I'll be back in a minute. All right. All right. All right. Oh, I don't know. I'm getting deep in there tonight. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm sorry. I apologize. It might be too much. I'm going beyond my limits. Blech. We might finish this emote. We might even finish this emote. I don't know. We might even finish this emote. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. I guess that's the end of the thought. I don't know. I just don't know. This is my favorite Death Heaven song. This is one of my favorite bands, and one of my favorite songs by said band. I saw them live. I saw Death Heaven live. I also saw Artificial Brain live, which was very funny. That was a great show, too. I saw Death Heaven in New York, and they were playing at like some small. They were playing at like some smaller venue, and there was like, I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was like bad weather that day. There was bad weather that day, so like, I think it might have started snowing or something like that, and so a bunch of people like didn't make it out. A bunch of people like didn't make it to the show, so it's like a very small crowd. We took up like maybe a third of the space that was available. A bunch of people couldn't make it. So we got to get real up close and personal with the band. It was nice. I gotta go see, I gotta do more live music stuff. I don't really care too much about having like, I don't know, local friends, I guess. I would like that just so I could go to concerts. I feel weird going to concerts by myself, but I should probably get over that. I should probably get over that personal stigma. Start going to shows again. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I think my favorite performance that I've ever seen, I think my favorite, like, concert, not even concert, but just like my favorite live music performance I ever saw was the band Elizabeth Color Wheel. I went to go see I went to go see Have a Nice Life, another one of my favorite bands. Uh when their most recent album came out, Sea of Worry. I think it might have been right before it came out. I don't remember exactly. But it was them and it was a bunch of other bands on the same label. And Elizabeth Colorwheel was performing, and I knew them. Like, I'd listened to their album before and it was very good and I liked it. But like, they weren't why I was there to see the show. They absolutely killed it. They were so fucking good. I'm still kind of in awe at how good that show was. I'd say the vocals are a big part of the band. I'd say the vocals are a big part of the appeal of their music. The singer is like this little woman, this tiny little lady. But she has such a powerful fucking voice with so much emotion in it. And during the show, she got off the stage and was walking into the audience while singing. So I was like right next to her while she was singing. And it was like, she's so, I don't know, just the power and the emotion in her voice was just like so intense. And to be like literally like right next to her, it was like, I don't know, I've never experienced anything like that at a concert before or since. I don't know. I mean, the entire band played amazing, but like they all played amazingly, but that was like, holy shit, dude. That was fucking awesome. Probably couldn't understand him there. You probably couldn't understand him there. But that's another quote that I think of often. Is from the song. There is no past, present, or future. There just is. And it never goes away. I think about that one. I think about that one fairly often. I don't know if I can extrapolate. I think that might be, I don't know. You might have to just think about that one yourself. But I don't know if I can extrapolate on that one too much. Are we done? Did we do it? I think maybe we done did it. I think maybe we've done it. Quite possibly. I think maybe we've done it. Let's see. I don't want to do it. I want to press play. I don't want to press play, but I have to. It kind of looks good enough to me. I think I'm satisfied. Maybe a little faster. That seems right, right? Oh wait, there's a couple frames where I forgot to do the other layer of... Hold on, we're not done yet. Oh, there's quite a few actually that I forgot to... Oh my god, it keeps getting worse. All right, hold on. We gotta like redo all of this. All right. Nope. I did it wrong again. I gotta do it like this. I almost did it again. I almost did it again. Okay, I think we got it now. There we go. Am I missing anything? I feel like I might be missing something, but I don't know what it would be. feel like I maybe should add like a little, I don't know, like a little heart or something, like coming off of the face, like a little heart that starts by the cheek and like floats away. I feel like that might sell the reluctant acceptance of the head pad a little more, but I don't know. I really want to call it, but I don't know if I should. I really want to call it done. Ugh. But the little heart floating away might be... It might be necessary. I'm not sure. It might be important. I can't decide. I don't know. I don't think I can do it right now though. I don't think I can do it right now regardless. I don't think I can do it right now. I might be too tapped out. I might be too tapped out. I burned hot and I burned bright tonight, but that means that I couldn't burn quite as long. At least that's how I feel. At least that's how I feel at this present moment. I'm too weak. I'm too weak to continue on. Fuck. I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop, but I think I have to. I think I gotta call it. I don't think I can keep going. I don't know. This is weird. I'm looking at the stream. I'm looking at the actual output of the stream. It's weird seeing myself double like this. I guess I'm seeing triple. Because it's on my second monitor too. It's too many. It's too many. It's too many billies. Too many for me. There we go, that's better. That reduced the amount by 1. That reduced the amount, I guess, by 2, because there was like this. I have like the whatever, it doesn't matter. I have like the studio mode so I can see. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. It absolutely does not matter. Oh. 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 Anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. I hope you all had a good time. I hope you all enjoyed your stay in the Alchemilia Petrichor stream. I know I did. I had a good time tonight. This was a good one. I really do feel kind of spent, but in like a good way. I really do feel kind of like exhausted, but in a good way. I feel like I gave it my all. I feel like I gave it everything I had, and I'm satisfied with the result. I feel like I really exerted myself, but it was worth the effort. It was worth... In this case, the juice was in fact worth the squeeze. I very much feel that way. I hope everybody's having a good time out there. I hope everybody's doing good. I gotta go eat something. I'm fucking hungry, man. I gotta go put some fucking food in my gob. I gotta go slob on somebody's knob right now, I tell you what. That's what I need to go do. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I guess that's about it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you all had a good time. I'm not exactly sure what I'll be doing tomorrow. I'm pretty sure I know what I'll be doing. I have 2 possibilities. I have 2 options of what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I gotta see. But I will be back. I will return. And I will be streaming, I guess. But yeah, I think that's about all I got. I think that's about all I got for tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you all had a good time. I love you all. You're all wonderful people. Thank you very much for listening to my inane ramblings this evening. I hope maybe you could get something out of them. I hope maybe you could get something out of them, even if that something is just a moment's respite from the rest of the world, even if all that is just a moment away from everything else. Even if all that is something very light and ephemeral. As long as you enjoyed it, then I suppose that's all I can ask. That's really all that I could ask for. So, yeah. I guess that's all I've got for tonight. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.